Hello, everyone. I'm super sorry for the delay. We had a bit of a technical issue with our slides, so again, apologies. Since we're collaborating with other filming teams, sometimes we have to adjust the schedules, and also it's quite hard to invite speakers every week. So again, another apologies for missing out on last week's contents, and probably I might have to skip the next week. But back to the topic. So today we're going to learn about Latvian startup ecosystem. It's not one of the most commonly heard ecosystem in the world, but also super interesting. So let's go. If we see the Latvian ecosystem as an overview, the capital city is Riga with a population of 1.9 million, language Latvian. 90% of the population speaks at least one foreign language. I think, according to the other statistics, I believe it will be English. Their GDP on 2024 is 42.17 billion euros. The currency is euros. Strategic location, bridge between Western Europe, Scandinavia, and Eastern markets. And if you see their maps, is quite located in a very strategic location. So I highly recommend you to check it out on the Google Maps for the details. Let's see the recent rankings. So what is known for Latvian startup ecosystem is the best national investment promotion agency in the region, 5G military test site in Europe, and 5th ranked in cybersecurity index, which is pretty interesting because South Korea has a lot of cybersecurity talents, but on the other hand, we don't see a lot of cybersecurity startups. And I see growing numbers of cybersecurity startups coming from like India and Europe, but Latvia, we never thought of it. So please keep a good eye on them if you're especially in the cybersecurity ecosystem. Another thing, 94% among the EU for high-speed internet coverage and households, ranked 3rd in EU for share of renewable energy, well-connected transport networks. Number 2 in international tax competitive index. This is how well taxes are spent and how taxes are efficiently accumulated and allocated. 0% corporate income and tax on reinvested profits. 45% of co-financing of high qualified employees. I think it's a super big charm for other entrepreneurs to move into this ecosystem. As mentioned, 95% of the population speaks English, 150 nationalities. We can tell how diverse it is. 38% of the population is represented by minorities, 5.9% of GDP expenditure on education, 24.2 STEM educated students. So I think STEM students, the amount of STEM students often defines the quality of startup ecosystem. And 24.2 is, I think, is pretty decent for the portion of tech talents. The top focus sector, number 1, is biomedicine, medical technologies, and pharmaceutics. We'll dig into details with my good speaker, my friend from Latvia, Embassy, who's in charge of the startup ecosystem promotion. And I've recently heard that a couple of South Korean companies started to have an interest in building the test site on the pharmaceutical industries. Number 2 would be knowledge incentives and bioeconomy. Number 3 would be photonics, smart materials, technologies and engineering. Number 4, ICT and smart city. Number 5, smart energy and mobility. On top of everything, startup visa. If we have an interest in moving into Latvian startup ecosystem, temporary residence permit is offered to all non-EU startup founders who are willing to come and develop their startup ideas in Latvia. Main criteria, a viable startup idea. Validity is issued for a maximum of 3 years. Eligibility up to 5 founders per team, plus their family members. Startup law supports up to 300,000. I think it's pretty profound condition for many of founders to move into Latvia, especially for the visa-wise. Comparing it to South Korea itself, one of the problems is that we don't really provide visas that much for like founders or employees or family members, and our duration of visa lifespan is pretty short. So 3 years, I think it's good enough time to get our feet wet and all these benefits with a chunk of 300,000 euro for the startup support. I think it's pretty good condition. So this is not it. We have to dig in deeper and learn more about Latvian startup ecosystem today with my good friend Martin. Please welcome Martin.
Hello everyone. Hi Riso. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, so Martin, please introduce us yourself first. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Martin. I'm the head of the Korea office of the Latvian investment promotion agency called LIA. Mm-hmm. So we are under the Ministry of Economy, but I have a dual role. I'm also the economic counselor of the Embassy of Latvia here. Mm-hmm. So yeah, my role is kind of simple. It's to bridge Latvian and Korean companies, mm-hmm. Whether they want to do something here or in Latvia, mm-hmm. just to boost trade. That's my biggest task. Mm-hmm. But of course, startup is something that can really boost this mm-hmm. as well. Mm-hmm. Our trade with Korea is around 150 million euros at the mm-hmm. moment, which is 10 times more than it was 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. So we really capitalize on the free trade agreement we have between Europe and Korea. But I think especially startup area is something that we can really take advantage of and then talk about each country's startup ecosystem much more and get to know each other much more.
So how long have you been in Korea so far?
I've been here 5 years. It's crazy, but then I'll be here at least 4 years more. So yeah, it's been a while, but there's so much to learn actually. So.
I see. What's the biggest difference between economical transaction trends that you have seen 5 years before and present days between like Latvia and Korea?
I think what I've seen that all the Latvian products that come to Korea mm-hmm. are very unique. Mm-hmm. So in terms of like customs, in terms of all the regulations, it's always a headache. Mm-hmm. But once we step over that headache, then I see that actually like interest between each other country's products is really a lot. Mm-hmm. So for example, Latvian herbal teas now you can buy in the supermarket in Korea. Which before it was really like a pipe dream, but I was like, wow. So like these niche things, mm-hmm. we're quite good. And likewise in Korea, in Latvia, every time I come back to Latvia, I come at least 4 times a year. We see another Korean shop, another Korean product things. So it's very interesting for me. 5 years ago, we had one Korean restaurant and maybe one place you can buy gochujang in Riga. Uh-huh. Now it's maybe 20 places. It's just so interesting how the actual cultures do mix and match.
I see.
Quite a lot.
What are the most transacted products in between Latvia and Korea?
Well, in terms of the money-wise and the volume, actually we work a lot with Korean shipbuilders. Oh. So Latvia is one of the biggest birch plywood makers in the world. So there's a specific type of wood, of plywood you need to use for the LNG ships. Oh. So it's a kind of high safety area. Needs lots of certificates, needs lots of things. But because of course Korea is one of the biggest shipbuilders in the world, we work closely with them. So that takes a big chunk. So wood in general, we have a lot of tradition in using wood well. So the wood technology is something that we try to build up. Mm-hmm. And then in Korea definitely. Also, for example, the KTX trains. As soon as the Koreans could use another type of plywood except French, mm-hmm. because they develop their own technology. They're now buying Latvian plywood for mm-hmm. the sound isolation and different kind of other technical things. Also in automotive industry as well. So Latvians know how to use wood, and this is one of the kind of the stable, very nice basis of our kind of trade relationship. I think that's that thing. But now, lately maybe food. Food is getting, as I said, teas and baby products, kind of high quality premium food is something that's getting traction in Korea, I would say. And then from Korea, we get lots of tires. I mean, if I see the statistics, of course, all the domestic appliances, which obviously we know all the big names in Korea. That's what we get from Korea. So that's the gist of it. But we're trying to explore more and more areas. We're trying to diversify, really.
Okay. Who are the main trading partners for your country? Like main trading partners?
Yeah, well, it's mostly European Union countries, of course. So our neighbors, we have really friendly relationships with Lithuania and Estonia, Sweden, Norway, all of this. For example, we build lots of energy efficient houses, and then we export them a lot to Norway and Sweden and Scandinavian countries. So this is kind of a big chunk of our economy. But EU, of course, we have free movement of goods and people, so we do take advantage of that a lot. I would say. So mainly European Union countries is what we start, but the foreign markets are now gaining traction, really. That's why I'm here. That's why I have a colleague in Japan. That's why I have a colleague in Australia. So we're trying to, expand on this.
Awesome. So what will be the largest charm of Latvia as a startup ecosystem for global founders?
I would say the Latvian mentality, I think once you unlock it, they become friends for life. But the first one, the first is kind of a learning curve, and the first is actually good. So if you go to Latvian coffee shop and you ask if they have tea, like green tea, they don't have it, they said no. And that's it. Like end of conversation. End of conversation. Yeah, exactly. Okay. But if you keep asking, so what kind of tea they have, they start to open up. And then, after the sixth sentence, you become really good friends. So I think it's the same thing with the startup ecosystem as well. Like once you go there, once you get over that first kind of learning curve, like you become friends of life. So it will translate in startup as well, but like all the business partners that started working with Latvia 10 years ago, when we had maybe the trade turnover of maybe $10 million, they all stay and everyone kind of, really
grow in.
Yeah, exactly. So that kind of growth mentality is really important. Just, try again, and then just long-term relationship is very important for Latvians.
How about Latvian startups? Do they tend to stay within the Latvian ecosystem, or do they often, because if I see typical scenarios from other neighboring ecosystem, they would easily, move into Germany or move into France, move into Spain, the surrounding ecosystems, right? But what are the tendencies in Latvia?
Well, there are two things. One thing is that no Latvian company would only think to do business in Latvia. That's the starting point. Is always global anyway. This is not. Our market is 2 million. We are a very dynamic country, but also very compact. So the market, you always think, okay, what can I do in Europe or somewhere else as well with this idea? So it's a good thing, and also, but of course, there's lots of competition. Latvian could go also to Spain. Latvian can go with any kind of good startup ecosystem. So for them to stay in Latvia, they have to have a good reason. That's why we try to, make sure they feel better here, because they have no obstacles to go anywhere in Europe, really. So that's why I would say that they always have some kind of reason to stay in Latvia, which I think that makes us more to try more. It makes us more kind of hungry to keep our startups in Latvia as well, or to work together with other countries. Yeah.
Interesting, because you guys are surrounded with really healthy startup ecosystem or very well-branded sector ecosystems, such as Lithuania, Estonia, all these Baltic countries and Scandinavian countries. So I think as a whole of Scandinavia and Baltic countries, it is quite a size of a market to grow, but at the same time, it will be very tempting opportunities for Latvian startups to just go beyond and move to the other ecosystems.
Yeah, of course, it's a lot of them do, but a lot of them also say, okay, we have a basis in Latvia, but we'll have a branch also in Finland or Estonia or somewhere else. So I say that the kind of global mindset is there from stage one, and then mostly probably quality of life wins. So I think if they can have a better quality of life in Latvia, they'll stay in Latvia, and that's also kind of a big part why they would stay.
Do you see a great deal of interest from South Korean startups who were planning to move into Latvia or who actually did move to Latvia?
Yes, we have seen some good examples. For example, in fintech ecosystem, that they feel very welcomed. I would say, and that's the advantage of a smaller country as well. Then you can meet, the regulators. You can meet the authorities. You can meet my agency, and we can really have a very personalized chat with you. We don't just stay on an email. We can actually meet you. We can actually talk with you. So I think that's the good thing, and that's what the Korean startup that moved to Latvia, that's what they told us.
Interesting to think about fintech, right? Yeah. Why fintech? Why did that fintech startup plan to move into Latvia?
Well, one of the things is that the Latvian bank was very active to promote the ecosystem and to be very more flexible and more dynamic than the competitors. To saying, okay, what kind of what stops you having business in Latvia? Tell me, and then they can adapt. I think that kind of mindset helped a lot. I think that's what I heard from them. Yeah.
But like, it seems like you guys have other prime ecosystems as well, like biomedicine, healthcare, 5G, maybe defense tech. What are the key sectors that Latvia has?
So yeah, I mean, most of the ecosystems do actually come from the traditional expertise we have. So, for example, we are still the only Baltic country that still has a big pharma players. So we have 3 big pharma players, and from those big kind of traditional pharmacy companies, they have the knowledge, and then there's the kind of the fruits of the roots. So there's many kind of offshoots of those companies that have like the basic knowledge, and they come on and they do something more innovative and more kind of something that challenges the notions of pharmacy and venturing out to biomedicine or other fields. Other ones. With fintech I mentioned. Defense, of course, is a big one. Now we've been very agile, and in the last 3-4 years, really saw a big increase of companies in the defense sector. Of course, because of the geopolitical reasons. Of course. So first of all, but second of all, also before we already had good traditions in drone technology. So we also even attracted from neighboring countries some R&D centers in Latvia. So that's why we built on that kind of aerospace drone technology. And then, of course, that now there's lots of initiative to push it.
It seems like, considering the sectors that you just mentioned, it involves a lot of hardwares and manufacturing. And that would lead our thoughts into what are the minimum wages of fresh talents in the market if we are to hire college graduates directly. Like, what are the minimum wages over there?
Yeah, well, a fresh graduate probably wouldn't work for a minimum wage, but still it's very competitive to the rest of Europe, really. I would say, like in Riga, the average wage is around 1.8 thousand euros. That's the 1,800 euros is the average wage. But a fresh graduate probably would work for like 1.4, maybe 1.4 thousand euros, which in the region is very competitive as well. So we are kind of on the sweet spot. But of course, the wages are growing. But at the moment, we're very competitive also on that field.
How about the venture investment ecosystem of Latvia? Like, do you see a lot of VCs growing within Latvia, or is it usually like, I don't know, Nordic or European VCs trying to move into Latvia?
I would say Baltic.
Okay.
Baltic VCs as a thing is growing a lot. Of course, it followed the success of probably starting with Estonia, but then again, VCs, it will be too small to have one country. So they usually are in Baltic region, generally. And then as Latvia being the central country, having the best connectivity, then it's kind of natural for them to have a central office in Latvia. But even then, it will never be just Latvia. It will always be a region.
I see. So if companies in Latvia grows big enough, what are their usual exit strategies, or what are their usual patterns? Like, do they go public in the I don't know, German stock market or French stock market? Like, what are their usual strategies?
Yeah, I mean, we have a Nasdaq Baltics.
Okay.
So some companies go there. But to be fair, some get acquired quite a lot. One of our big drone companies got acquired by an American parent. So it's really case to case, I would say. I don't think there's one like kind of pattern. But and also our first unicorn, Printify. No, Printful. They actually acquired Printify, which is kind of the second would be our next unicorn, but they just decide, okay, well, let's just work together because we're kind of similar.
Merger.
Yeah. So that was kind of unexpected for everyone because everyone just thought, oh, they'll become a unicorn, they'll do something by themselves. But suddenly, they decided to work together to just form a bigger kind of print-on-demand platform. So that was interesting. So it's very diverse, I would say.
Interesting. So, I mean, living in South Korea is one of the most government state-driven startup ecosystem in the world. So for South Koreans, when we are considering different startup ecosystem, the number one thing checks up on our mind is that what are the support programs? What are the subsidy schemes? So are there anything like that in Latvia?
Yeah, I mean, our startup law is one of the more interesting, I think one of the most interesting initiatives in the sphere. For example, as you mentioned, the 45% financing for qualified employees. That's a big one. Also, you can choose to cap the social payments, the tax payments as well. So as long as you pay them more than 2 minimum wages, actually your tax will not go up, like labor tax. So that's really good. It's just capped. Of course, that means that you need to have a very qualified person, but that means that you can pay them competitive wage, but that doesn't mean the tax will go up. So I think that's a good support. Of course, they also have the support more than 40 export instruments that we have to support any company also is available to the startup. So I would say, of course, government helps, but it's always kind of a nudge. It's always kind of in a form that it's not just giving money, right? So we try to really say, okay, of course, you guys have to prove your worth, but then we are here for you for this kind of, again, if they want to. We are open if they want like a sandbox to test their idea, or they want partners, or they want to get us to get them a partner in Horizon Europe or something like that. We're open to that, and then we have many instruments that, but it's always kind of a nudge. It's always a nudge rather than just blanket money or kind of financing in that kind of traditional sense.
Because each ecosystem in Europe, I feel like they tend to grow their own edge as a benefit. Like, if you see Austria, they're like trying to promote how many incentives they give for like R&Ds or labor law or whatever it is, right? So would there be any kind of those edge that Latvia is trying to bring on?
I mean, we do provide also startup vouchers as well. Vouchers, for example, if again you want to develop a new technology, you need expertise. This is what we do finance, for example. The amount varies, from 25K to 150K. It really depends. So we have many kind of investment co-support things. We have the S, the M, and the XL. The XL would be for large investments, but the S would be for a small as well. Like saying, okay, if you're willing to research this, then we'll help you. So that kind of thing. And even the startup law is very kind of tailor-made as well, because as you said, the only thing is a viable startup idea. And our agency, our experts will try to say, okay, this is,
viable.
This is viable, exactly. And then if it is, then they'll be here for you. And they'll try to help you, not only with money, but also with all the other kind of expertise, getting you the right partners, telling you where to export, what's your supply chain, that kind of thing. Yeah.
I mean, you guys have also Tech Riga and also that incubation centers, et cetera, like you guys even have your own platform that is all quantified by the startup data, venture investments, et cetera. Can you also introduce about those kind of infrastructures?
Got it. Yeah, we have Startin, which is a non-governmental organization, and they do have their database, so you can really see who are you working with or against, and then you have different data that you can search easily. So I think this is one of the things that sometimes I miss in Korea when it's so much information, but there's no one place where I can get it. So we try to systemize it so you don't get confused in that sense. And we have a startup house which was largely funded by our first unicorn, which was Printful. But then also they're already opening their next one. So basically in Riga we have the central station. By the central station there's a port. There's a kind of old industrial area. Okay. So basically this is where the new startups obviously want to grow. It's some nice brick houses, but they're kind of developing this kind of cluster there. So again, yeah, they provide all sorts of support for new startups to go there and work together and network, things like that.
How about Tech Riga?
We have Tech Chill, for example, as well. Tech Chill happens in February, which is very, very cold in Latvia. Okay. But we all go to the sauna. I bet. So I bet. So it's a very, very nice place. But I would say that these events are very, I would say casual, of course, very casual. And this is where you can really meet real Latvians and then become actual friends rather than acquaintances. They will not say, no, we don't have green tea. They will talk to you and then really kind of welcome you, I think. That's the thing, because also for just physically, we are 64% of the land of Korea, but we are only, 2% of the population of Korea, not 2%, 4% of the population. So yeah, there's lots of space. And this is also mentally and physically lots of space. I see. So we try to take advantage of that as well.
Okay, so if you are to consult a foreign startup, not only in Korea, but any foreign startups who are trying to move or expand to Latvia, how would you walk them through? What are the processes that we should be taking?
I would say it could easily just start with a casual email to me. Or even a message or whatever. Like all my data is available. So I would be the one to say, okay, we have this project manager you can talk to just informally first.
LIAA? Or?
LIAA, yeah. So we have our project managers in Riga that are experts in like some other areas, some others. So of course it has to be
bisectoral. Experts.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're like, you're a fintech, okay, I know our project manager really good in this fintech area. So just have a chat, have a meeting first online, and just informally like talk through like what is important for your startup as well. It depends. Like some startups are interested, more what kind of support in I don't know, the land or this kind of physical support, or what kind of like networking options, things like that. So I think the first thing is just a chat. That would be first, and as I said, then after you have to submit a very simple startup idea or a business idea
to check whether it's viable.
Yeah, exactly. And now actually it's getting, of course, more challenging. There are much more interesting ideas. But also, of course, we need to be very, very, very strict in that sense to say, okay, is this scalable? Does this make sense in Europe? Things like that. But then, once you pass that, then we can connect you to all the local players. We can think, okay, what's the supply chain like? What do you need? Like, is there a office you need, or is there a manufacturing space, or where do you want to be? You want to be next to airport, or next to the port, or what's important for you, or where you want to be on the IT district, wherever you want to. So, again, this is all about being personal, being very tailor-made.
I see. For me, if I get to think to walk people through to join South Korean startup ecosystem, physically, then give or take, I would need them to have a monthly budget of give or take $2,000 to $3,000 to just sustain themselves if they're going to live in Seoul, including rents, foods, etc. What would be the ideal budget that entrepreneurs should think of when they're planning to physically move into Latvia?
Living expenses. It is growing now, but at the same time in Riga, if you don't want to be in the old town, the most touristy place ever, if you want to be in a well-connected place, I would say the rent 400, 500 euros is reasonable. Then fruits and vegetables is something I really miss in Korea, in the sense that we have a really nice local market where you can get them really nice and cheaply. Okay, that's the thing. So I think you can sustain. Also, your food budget may be 300, 400 euros a month is reasonable. Maybe 50 euros for the transport. We also have the climate card, like Seoul. We have it, so you can buy 1 month pass for all the transport modes. So that's okay. Events and things like that. Startup House probably has very cheap also rent for the offices. So, 1,200, 300, I think it's completely fine, yeah.
That's actually quite cheaper than Korea.
I think so, yeah. True. It depends, obviously, on your exact needs.
So, to think of Latvia as a geographical position, I believe like recent geopolitical changes has definitely influenced your ecosystem. Maybe even an influx of, I don't know, Ukrainian founders or Russian developers, et cetera, et cetera. Do you see those kind of symptoms happening in the ecosystem?
Definitely. With any geopolitical change, it's not even just this war or this situation. Also before, whenever there's something happening in neighboring countries, we do get influx of actually startups, mostly the ones that can move, that will move to like a country where they can count on the democracy, they can count on safety, things like that. So we've had very talented, for example, Belarusian startups coming to Latvia 5-6 years ago. Also, we had some exiled Russian startups as well coming to Latvia and developing their innovation things. So it's we do kind of, because we are stable, we are kind of boring. So in that sense, so and very predictable in the legal area. Then we naturally see that. Yeah,
I see.
Definitely. So it's and then the most you can see it in startup and in this kind of innovation, because there's somebody that has something very valuable, and he wants the peace of mind that nobody will steal it, the government will not take it away for them, or will not mess with it. So that's where we see that people use this kind of safer haven place than.
So when we are considering Latvian market as our clients, which sector should we consider? Like, for instance, if it's South Korea, I would tell like definitely B2B, but somewhere in the manufacturing industries or somewhere in the software development industries, maybe they could become a viable targets for foreign companies to enter into South Korea. Like, would there be any kind of industrial sectors that can become a client for foreign founders?
I would say the sectors that are developing at the moment. I guess I guess fintech is on my mind a lot. So if there's like at the moment, I guess our system, the regulation is not too conservative, but the players there are kind of conservative. So I think there is lots of space for disruption.
I see. I mean, like, by the time we're speaking, on this very week, there's like fintech week going on, like blockchain week going on, and as far as I remember, the Baltic region is pretty known for like crypto-friendly ecosystem.
Got it. Yeah,
so do you guys see a lot of crypto startups coming into Latvia as well?
We do. I mean, but even our national airline is actually it's allowing crypto payments for their tickets. So and they're doing and NFTs and things like that. It's quite interesting.
Interesting.
So and it's a state-owned airline. So it's not 97.27%, but still it's a state-owned airline. So even our big companies are kind of interested in open this kind of things at this moment, definitely. So this is something that definitely could be explored more.
How about like regulations?
Yeah, again with the Bank of Latvia, I would say they're one of the most forward-thinking authorities. I think.
Do you guys have like sandbox system that can push through?
Exactly. So together with the FinTech Association of Latvia, they have a sandbox system that you can try out your stuff on like less pressure.
Hey, I mean, like if I get to think of the past, when I get to see like these startups or Korean startups or foreign startups trying to go globally, one of the key factors they always get to face is regulatory issues. So okay, sandbox maybe could solve. But the next problem that I always get to see is establishing a company,
Okay.
getting a bank account.
Sure. Yes. Yes. Okay.
How long does it take?
We do have experience to help with that. What do we do? Well, for establishing a company is not a hard thing at all. It's few days. It's not weeks in that sense. A bank account is always being the thing that we have to have help. We have to help the companies as well, because as I said, the banking industry is kind of conservative in Latvia as well. But we are the ones that we actually prepared a kind of preliminary checklist that the startup has to fill up, and then we send it to the banks, and then see which bank kind of will likely take them, even before the actual application.
Oh, so like fast tracking everything.
Yeah. So this is our kind of tailor-made thing. Which is it's kind of an interesting solution, I think.
Interesting. Now I want to dig in deeper to like academia a bit. So if we see talent market in South Korea, I will say give or take 30% speaks like decent level of English, 70% speaks like very fluent Korean, and Latvia, you guys already speak like basically English, 95%, and 23% STEM students. What are their tendencies? Like, is entrepreneurship a thing in Latvia, or is it more like we'll get a job, we'll see where it goes?
I would say we always want it to be a bigger thing, definitely.
Okay.
But I think, I don't want to compare too much, but I think the making a mistake is not that much frowned upon. So you can make a mistake easier than maybe in other countries. I have experience that we can, we like to try things. We try and we really try. And if we fail, we are not, it's not the end of the world. I think that's the kind of, that makes it a little bit more easy for entrepreneurs, right?
Yeah.
That kind of mentality. But at the same time, again, we do want to push more people. So that's why, for example, but we're very proud of our women founders as well, because we want everyone to be confident to make their own company. We don't want to exclude anyone. So this is one of the kind of things. But to be fair, I think that's why we have also the startup visa, because we do appreciate everyone that has that initiative.
So what's the portion of like female founders, give or take?
I have to check my data, I think.
But like roughly, by your catch, ballpark.
Maybe that's the funny thing is that I don't know if they're founders, but we have many female CEOs. For example, CEO of our most kind of lately most known cosmetics company, which actually now is in Nasdaq, is female, for example. So
Latvian cosmetic company.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, for example, or so that like. For my normal like anecdotal experience, it's a lot. I think from the data, maybe it's 20%, something like that. So
that's pretty good.
Yeah, so it's not. It could be better anyway.
Yeah.
And our women scientists actually are more than men. So we maybe like more, maybe 50-60% is actually female scientists. So that's a big. Obviously, that lends to itself, to either be the founder or at least part of the team.
Interesting.
So scientist definitely is a big.
See. So, do Latvian universities also kind of push entrepreneurship courses or acceleration programs to, challenging students to go further, or?
Well, the universities try to work a lot with the companies as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So our biggest Latvian companies do work closely, first of all, saying what kind of courses will be very beneficial for the industry. So it's not only one company, it's also the associations, of course. They say, okay, we really, in the next 10 years, we'll definitely need this. So this is one of the things. But also entrepreneurship, yes, we do have... We do have programs in Riga Technical University, definitely for this kind of much more closer communication between scientists and then saying, okay, well, you're a scientist, but that doesn't mean you can't be a businessman, right? So
True.
So this is this kind of mindset we try to instill with people.
Okay. Come to think of, every universities, every ecosystems around the world, they always have their like comparative edge. They say, oh, we're actually known for this. We're actually super talented in this sector. Or would there be any kind of comparative edge in the Latvian academia, in the higher education?
We have the fastest memory in the world. We won There was a competition, and we came on top of IBM sensors. So actually, we have the world's fastest memory, which obviously will not come to our normal mainstream computer maybe 10, 15 years. But this is our scientists' work, for example. I visited that kind of... so this kind of... But the thing is, with our scientists, we have so many talented ones, but it's very niche things.
I see.
So whenever I talk about Latvian innovation, it's very niche. So, there was a Latvian that invent Pringles, for example.
Oh.
So behind the technology of Pringles, there's a Latvian man. It's very niche, but it's many of those things. But so obviously the memory.
Interesting.
The memory thing, we are good at. Coating, again, it all comes of photonics. So coatings, for example, the Mona Lisa in the Louvre, in Paris, it's the non-reflective glass is Latvian coating because nobody else has that kind of technology. Our scientists are very good, and they're very, but it's very niche. So I have to always really
study about it.
Yeah, study about it. Yeah, exactly. So it's also we have one of the two best quantum mathematicians in the world.
Oh.
So we joined the European Quantum Initiative. Of course, again, this is technology that will be relevant maybe 10, 20 years from now on. But these kind of roots are very interesting that we have one of the...
So, are scientists kind of subsidized or encouraged to dig super deeply into these niche ideas?
I think first of all, they do. I have to think why. But also, of course, the government understands that its role is to help with deep tech. So its role is to help with all the things that take time, that take patience, and that take failure. So we do have a deep tech atelier, which is an event we hold, I think in June. Then again, it's the same idea, putting scientists together with founders and VC funds. So trying to things happen, and it always brings lots of interesting results. So yeah.
How deeply? I don't know how to put this, but Horizon Europe.
Sure. Yeah.
How deeply are Latvian founders or scientists are engaged within these Horizon Europe consortia or projects?
I would say 150% deeply. I mean,
oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. But one of the things is obviously we're a small country, and many Horizon projects, one of the rules is you need to use a smaller country.
Yeah.
So we're here.
Okay.
We're here. That's one of the things. Also, there's also the kind of GDP requirements, and also we fit in the bracket that usually you have to choose a country like this kind of GDP per capita. I think our companies are really using it, taking advantage. And again, our biggest companies are not so big that not care about Horizon Europe. So our biggest for telecommunications company, I think they're doing 15 projects in Horizon Europe.
What?
It's a lot of projects, yeah.
So if any founders, especially Horizon Europe membership country founders, if they knock on Leah's door and say, we're looking for a good consortia partner in Latvia, then you guys just hook it up.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, we're also the implementers of the Enterprise Europe network.
Oh, okay.
So we have kind of two organizations that help with that. But yeah, we're also, I have my colleague, same as me, but her only task is to promote Latvian companies in Brussels and to make partners for them. So yeah, we do support, a company registered in Latvia is the same as a Latvian company. So we will help you with the consortiums, and we have lots of information of that. And again, I can't remember everything, but my colleague in Brussels knows everything. So again, I'll hook you up to her. You'll have a chat, and you'll know much more about that.
Interesting. So, how about Baltic region? I mean, Tallinn is known for most amount of founders per capita, and Nordics are also quite known for their entrepreneurial and R&D ecosystems. Do you do a lot of collaborations with them, or a lot more competition going on?
Oh, okay. No, I would say it's a very healthy competition. I would say we know that we can't live without each other. That's the thing. Our biggest trade partners are the Baltic countries and the Scandinavian countries. So you can't just but historically we always cover little different things as well. As I said, in Latvia is more photonics, more more photonics, more kind of biotech, pharmacy. Like in Lithuania is more lasers, in Estonia is more, I would say, IT, I guess. So we traditionally also occupy a little different spaces. So it's much more complementing each other than that. And because we are so close, people don't tend to come up with the same ideas or copying ideas. It's a little bit more like, okay, we know so well what's happening in Tallinn and Vilnius, so we're not going to copy them, or we're not going to jump in the same river. So, and then because you meet these people, you network with them so much, you will never be like, oh, I know your thing, I'll do the same thing. That doesn't work like that. So that's why we try to.
Oh, you do that, I'll do this.
Yeah. It's a bit
of that.
Yeah, exactly. So that in culture as well, I guess it's also in the mentality. We don't want to copy anyone. So we're like, okay, this is you're really good at this, but I'll be here.
I see. All right. I mean, like, our time flies, so I'm gonna go for the closing remarks.
Oh yeah.
Already. What would be the largest strengths that you just want to promote to the people? This is the best about Latvia. You better come.
Wow. I can choose so many things. What
so
is
many things, man.
So many things. I don't know. I think we talked about lots of logical things, but I mean, we have a really nice seaside.
Okay.
I would say our Jurmala is a really nice beach city. So like if you're really like, if you're in Riga, in our capital, and you're stressed out, you just take a train for 20 minutes, and then you're somewhere with a nice sandy beach, and you can just breathe.
When is the best season?
July, August. So in Korea, if it's too hot, it's perfect in Latvia, I think.
Okay.
So I would say that kind of quality of life feeling I really enjoy. Or I know so many nice bakeries in Riga that I can tell you about. So this kind of quality of life is very important for us. So I think that can be a strength, I think, because we touched a lot about like laws and regulations and things like that. But it's just the feeling being in Latvia. I was lucky in this summer to host 25 Koreans in Latvia. So, and they really loved bakeries, restaurants, and the seaside, the peace and the calm. Yeah.
Right. So 2 million people market may seem small, but it's not small at all, because every day in our life we're struggling to even have 10,000 users on our B2C platform, or even to have one decent B2B client. So everyone, opportunities are there. I mean, there are not many ecosystems that's this open and this encouraging and this supportive to attract foreign founders and talents to come into their market. So, I mean, if you're interested in Latvian ecosystem, feel free to knock on their doors, on Leah, to Martin, easy to find on LinkedIn. So you will see you guys in Riga someday, huh? All right. Thank you, Martin. Thank you, everyone. This was Monday Garrison. See you next time.